my tryst with civil engineering started almost 4 decades ago on a very bad note. I was born to a farming couple in a small village and studied in Telugu medium till my 12th class. When I joined engineering college, it was a big culture shock to me. I was not able to fit into the college setting and ran away within 3 months. I was so scared that I didn't tell anyone, just got into a train and landed in Hyderabad, where my sister was working for a bank and living with my grandmother. I didn't even know the address of their house except for the name of the street. It was sheer luck that I stumbled upon a rangoli drawn by my grandmother, instantly recognized it, and entered the house. I had no intentions of going back to my college. The following summer was very harsh on me. I was at my village doing many odd jobs. I was building a palm leaf sunshade to our house, growing beans and selling in a local shop, and harvesting cotton in neighbors' fields for daily wage. At that point, I understood the gap between my dreams and the reality. As a child, I always dreamt about flying in an aeroplane, traveling to most exotic places in the world, and owning a beautiful farm. All those dreams are shattered because I failed to cope up with my college life. At that lowest point, I derived strength from my dreams and pushed myself to go back to college and graduate. Over the years, my need to study engineering has turned into my passion, and my passion towards civil engineering has turned into my profession, and here I am. Recently, I visited a school in Nagpur. It's a school for underprivileged children. One of the young boys in the crowd told me that he wants to become a civil engineer, but he doesn't know what civil engineers do apart from building bridges. During our brief conversation, I tried to tell him that civil engineering is all about building dreams. There is this wonderful book called An Illustrated History of Civil Engineering, written by JPM Panel. The author tells us that civil engineering is a life skill pursued by humans from ancient times, and it helped in the development of human civilizations. This is a wonderful thought. One of the more interesting thoughts from this book is civil engineering has some works. The works of civil engineering possess a permanence, and they walk us through the times which we do not know, and connect us with the deep underlying emotions of people of those generations. Let me try to take the example of the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. As per the World History of Encyclopedia, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon is one of the wonders of the ancient world. When a queen was missing her green homeland, her husband had this dream of building hanging gardens in a dry city like Babylon. His dream gave birth to an incredible wonder, combining complex hydraulics, lift irrigation, waterproofing techniques, all of that done 26 centuries ago. Let me talk about the Taj Mahal. As per the official website of the Taj Mahal, maintained by the Government of India, the Taj Mahal is an ultimate dream of the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan. Built by a large team of engineers and architects, this monument represents a fulfilled dream of a king to build a monument that symbolizes his eternal love towards his wife. Talking about realized dreams, I remember the Channel Tunnel. The Channel Tunnel, which connects UK and France through an underwater tunnel, is a realized dream of two nations. To bring down the travel time between London and Paris to close to 2 hours. Your dream can be a very personal one like the Taj Mahal, or a global one like the Channel Tunnel. Civil engineers have the ability to see through your dreams and bring them to life. India held a dream in its heart for more than a century. The dream of connecting Jammu and Kashmir with the rest of the country by train. The dream of providing seamless transport in a complex geographical region prone to extreme climatic changes. This dream wouldn't have been realized but for the Udhampur, Srinagar, Baramulla rail link project of the Indian Railways. I was a part of building one of the most critical segments of this project, the Chenab Railway Bridge. Built at a height of 359 meters above the riverbed, connecting two steep, jointed rock slopes in a complex geological region and designed to withstand wind speeds up to 266 kilometers per hour and high magnitude earthquakes, this bridge is a paragon of civil engineering brilliance. The engineering that went into the construction of this bridge is so extraordinary that even after removal of a pier, the bridge will be operational. As a geotechnical consultant to this world's highest railway bridge, I climbed those hills when there were no roads on them and saw the bridge unfold from nothing to a giant structure that can hold a live train carrying our country's hopes and demands. When an infrastructural dream of this magnitude is realized, the pride of a civil engineer touches the sky. Among with many Indians, I got goosebumps when I saw the train running on the arch for the first time. The bridge made me very famous. My contributions received wide recognition. But what made me happy is not my fame, but the outcome of our teamwork, which has transformed the socio-economic fabric of the much neglected Jammu-Kashmir region. During recent floods in Jammu, when most of the roads were closed, this train line helped in carrying flood victims and relief material, providing hope to thousands of stranded in Jammu. The amount of satisfaction you get by being a part of this kind of challenging project is immense. As per a recent news release by the American Society of Civil Engineers, more than 85% of civil engineers are satisfied or very satisfied with their job. My husband and I studied equally well, and he works for a corporate company. But we both agree to the fact that while he earns more than me, my work receives more respect and public recognition. Of course, civil engineering practice is very hard. It may involve field work, site visits, sleepless nights. I have been through this path, and trust me, the journey has been super adventurous. Where there is adventure, there is always a risk of failure. And failures in civil engineering are equally famous as the success stories. I'm sure most of you remember how the world laughed at the engineers who built an overbridge with near 90 degrees turn in Bhopal. Though it was said that the design was driven by land availability issues, the bridge received huge criticism and public outcry because of safety concerns. Here I want to tell you a story where one of the civil engineering blunders has turned into a world wonder. There is this small town called Pisa in Italy. The town became suddenly famous when one of its church towers started leaning because of poor civil engineering design. And when the angle of inclination increased to a dangerous level, it was time for the engineers to intervene and correct it. Surprisingly, the people of Pisa did not want the tower to come back to a straight position because the town will lose its status of holding a world wonder, the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Their demand was to bring back the tower to a safe position, leave it without further leaning. This was a more challenging task than bringing back the tower to a vertical position. But it was accomplished through very innovative engineering techniques like placing some lead blocks over the foundations on the rising north side, removing some soil below the foundations on the rising side. This is one of the many case studies where civil engineers have proved themselves to be most creative problem-solving fighters. Apart from building these very special monuments, civil engineers directly contribute to nation building. India's infrastructure budget for 2025-26 is 11.21 lakh crore rupees as per the union budget presented in Lok Sabha last year. Our infrastructure is growing at an exponential pace. Bullet trains, express corridors, ports, airports, metros, smart cities in the pipeline. Despite the growing infrastructural needs, the interest towards civil engineering education in our country is declining sharply. Recently, the World Council of Civil Engineers has conducted a survey involving 120 civil engineers from 5 different continents. 63% of the respondents chose ethics and corruption as the biggest challenge for the future of civil engineering. And 26% of them felt that young people lack interest towards civil engineering. On a similar note, a recent news article wrote that many colleges in Karnataka and elsewhere in the country are requesting for seat reduction or complete closure of traditional engineering branches like civil and mechanical engineering. I observe a serious mismatch between the human interest towards civil engineering creations and student interest towards civil engineering education. Visiting the pyramids of Egypt was in my bucket list for a long time. A visit to Paris is never complete unless you climb the Eiffel Tower. Burj Khalifa, London Bridge, Sydney Opera House, these are the most popular tourist destinations in the world. When someone asks us what to visit in India, we instantly suggest the Taj Mahal, the forts of Rajasthan, and the temples of Tamil Nadu. When we visit these structures, they tell us a lot of stories about the history and culture of the place and the dreams and aspirations of people who built them. One of the main reasons for young students not getting attracted towards civil engineering is their lack of understanding about the scope of this subject. Let me explain. Civil engineering deals with 3 out of 5 basic elements which are called Panchabhutas in Indian philosophy. Geotechnical and structural engineers deal with the earth, water resources engineers deal with water, and environmental engineers deal with air. Civil engineering covers land, oceans, mountains, and extends from deep undersea constructions to lunar stations. Most importantly, civil engineering is a field which is continuously evolving and which can integrate endless creativity into its designs. Professor Blockley from the University of Bristol said, civil engineering is an art. Talking about art, I remember that the great artist Leonardo da Vinci has once visualized and designed an arch bridge to connect the cities Istanbul and Galata in 16th century. His design was rejected. But recently, a team of researchers from MIT have tested a 3D printed model of this bridge, and their test suggested that Da Vinci's design would have served the purpose with additional safety against the earthquakes of Turkey. Endless imagination, creativity, excellence, human development, and well-being. This is civil engineering. Recent research in this field is so multidisciplinary that it opens up infinite possibilities in the domain. 3D printing gives us borderless creative freedom and customization. Use of AI and robotic tools help us to simplify, optimize, and automate our designs and constructions. Keeping civil engineering as foundation, we can solve some of the pressing global problems: water, energy, and climate change. Imagine if we can develop a very economical process for the desalination of seawater. We can erase the water crisis from the planet. Imagine we can tap the Earth's internal heat, which is called geothermal energy, to cover the energy needs of our Earth. I'm not talking about impossible things here. In a firm step towards net zero emissions, we are actually harnessing geothermal energy to air condition one of our new airports in Leh, Ladakh. By inventing and innovating alternate construction materials, we can fight the emissions and the climate crisis. These are some global problems of high stakes, but why a common human being be interested in civil engineering? We all must pay attention to civil engineering because our basic needs like water and shelter, our comforts like electricity, energy, and transportation, and our luxuries like airport infrastructure, all are deeply connected with civil engineering. You don't have to be a civil engineer to reap the benefits of civil engineering. With little interest towards this field and mindfulness, you can transform your living spaces into beautiful habitats. In a utopian civil engineering world, your roads have neither cracks, no potholes, and no traffic jams. Your drains don't clog. Your buildings are elastic. They don't fail under the influence of natural hazards. Your environment is pollution-free and many health hazards vanish. Urban floods are controlled. When will these things happen? When we produce best civil engineers. Unfortunately, career choice is one of the biggest dilemmas our younger generation is facing now. Many of them try to fit square pegs into circular holes. One of my friends recently told me that her son left an IT job to join an acting school in New York. Many of my own friends regret their choice of leaving the core engineering field at that point of time. I wanted to become a doctor, but civil engineering chose me. Today, I am known to the world through my works as a civil engineer. Most of my dreams are fulfilled. I traveled in hundreds of flights, covered more than 30 countries. I maintain a clean work-life balance and pursue farming during my weekends. Most importantly, I feel very happy that I'm a part of a brigade which builds the dreams of generations. Hundreds of civil engineering students wrote to me saying that my story inspired them. I want to tell each and every one of them to feel proud of being an engineer who builds dreams of our nation. As a civil engineering graduate, you have numerous career options in multiple domains. If you love art and creativity, be in a design team. If you love adventure and travel, be a field engineer. If you love inventions, be in a materials team. If you love AI, data science, robotics, be in smart infrastructure team. If you're a nature lover, be in sustainability team. If you don't want to work for someone and want to pursue your career in teaching, research, and practice in a domain that you love, be a professor like me. But whatever you do, be a dreamer, learn to be a dream chaser, and excel as a dream builder. Thank you.